So Mike, how do you decide which sold homes to use as a comp or comparable?
Yeah, so this is probably the biggest point of contention when you're dealing with the actual appraisal report, which is what comparable sales are you using to compare to the subject? Real estate agents, appraisers, we are all using the same data. So we're using a source called the MLS, which is the multiple listing service, which is the public record of public sales within our area. And so real estate agents and appraisers alike have the same access to that information. And so when I'm looking at a comparable sale to, let's say, your house, I'm looking at similar size, style, and age, and I'm also needing to balance that against location. So for instance, there may be a house that's immediately next door to you that may be slightly different in age or style or size, but it also tells me, and as an appraiser, what somebody's willing to pay for a house in your immediate area. So where we are in Northeast Ohio, if I travel a mile or two away from your house, I could be in a very different area, which has a huge impact on value. So the three most important things in real estate are location, 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 and that has to be part of what we use in terms of using comparable sales.
Okay, so say I put in a pool and my neighbor's house doesn't have a pool. Are they still a comp?
So yeah, pools are very interesting in our market. So if we were, for instance, in Arizona, if your home didn't have a pool, it would be considered abnormal for that market and probably drastically affects the value of your house. Here in our part of the country, where jokingly you could probably use your pool 2 to 3 months out of the year. Now some people may use it 5 or 6 or 7 months out of the year, but it's almost a neutral in our market, because I've seen people when they walk into a house that they don't want a pool because they're afraid that their children are going to fall in and drown. And so it actually almost becomes a negative for that property. So in-ground pools become a very tricky thing to try and put a value on because it is such a polarizing characteristic of a home. Now I can tell you that above ground pools add absolutely no value whatsoever. They are considered personal property because they can be moved. And in most cases, an above ground pool is actually a nuisance to the person buying the home, because chances are they're not going to want it or use it, and it leaves a huge ring in the backyard of where that pool used to be.
Very good. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.